are getting ready for another Landmark Live. I'm going to give you a minute or two to get the notification and share this video to your page if you like. Tell your friends, tell your family. We'll be signing on. We'll be going live here in about 1 minute or so. So get your notifications, share the video, hit like, comment so we know you're out there. Have you hit like on our page? If you haven't hit like on our page, or go to Platte County Landmark Facebook page. Brad Carl, special guest host tonight. We're going to start with a little fireside chat. A little fireside chat with our friend Brad Carl to start the show here real quick. So tell all your friends. Brad Carl, special guest host tonight. Who?
I'm already thumbs up and liked your page.
Oh, okay. Can't believe you didn't get a notification.
See there.
I just don't. Pretty good. Got notifications. Here we go, guys. You ready?
Oh, sure.
You ready?
Sure, why not? Oops.
Hey everybody, here we are. Brad was unprepared. He's over here knocking his pillow off the chair. What we're trying to do, something new. Special guest co-host tonight, Brad Carl, is here. And Brad is kind of an author and kind of a, I don't know, let's turn down that volume so we don't get feedback for you. But we're up here setting our notifications and going to do a little fireside chat with Brad. Brad, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. It's good to see you again,
Buddy, haven't seen you since
I
what?
like shaking his hand. He's got the best hand
Yeah.
in the world.
Tell you what. Brad, what have you been doing since last we saw you around Halloween?
God, was it that? It was that long ago,
Yeah.
wasn't it? This pillow's driving me back.
Just throw it on,
Crazy.
man. Yeah, we don't need that.
All right.
We don't need that.
I've been doing good. I've been writing.
Yeah, what are you
I've
writing?
been writing another collection of stories, lots of short stories, and I finally found the motivation to get back going again. I've been kind of busy, but I've got back into it. So,
And to tell the folks, Brad used to be on the radio years ago. You were in Iowa at that time?
yeah, real radio was in
Real
Iowa.
radio, yeah.
Fake radio was here.
Came down, did some fake radio in Kansas City. Did a little fake television too. Did you do a little fake video or not? You just were doing the fake radio.
Yeah. Unless you count my beer review show on YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah,
kind of
that's-
fake
that-
television.
that is-
yeah.
that's-
So that's there.
That's real fake television.
Yeah, very
Okay.
fake. Why aren't we on YouTube?
We are. Nobody just knows it because everybody follows us on Facebook. But I do post these to YouTube when we're done.
Noted.
So go to YouTube, search Ivan Foley. If you ever want to watch these on YouTube, you can do that. So, Brad, besides writing and drinking beer, what else you been up to?
Watching the Olympics.
Yeah.
You watching the Olympics?
Yeah, I've been watching the snowboarder.
Yeah, that's fun. I actually prefer to watch the curling. Have you seen curling? You know
Yeah,
what
where
curling is?
the little chimney sweep guy comes
Yeah.
up.
I have no idea what they're doing, but it's fun to watch.
I don't think you have to be in very good shape to do that. So you and I can do that.
I think, well, you're much better. I could definitely do that. But I'd be the guy that just kind of slides it out. I
Right.
wouldn't be the guy that goes the entire distance. Well, actually,
I
that'd be
think-
Candler that would be doing that.
Candler, we'd be a good team.
I can see the three of us doing that.
Yeah, we could just roll Candler down the ice, smooth it out for us. Good times. And
Great.
Candler
Yes.
tonight is he's at North Kansas City High School. They have their farewell to the field house at North Kansas City. That's his old high school. Chris, when he was in school, played with his tuba in the stands and on the court. He scored more in the stands than he did on the court, as I recall. I think he had 1 point in the stands and 0 on the court, but that's where he is tonight. Also tending to his sore groin, which is it's a problem that maybe we can ask the doctor.
Ask the doctor about his groin.
Later tonight.
Don't ask the doctor about his groin. Ask the doctor
Groin
about Candler's groin.
Yes.
In general. Right.
But we do have Dr. David Lowry coming on in just a minute. But Brad, anything else you want to get out?
You were asking me before we clicked on the camera about whether I've written any medical stuff before, and I have not. But I did want to mention that in my very first book, a guy did lose his arm in a car accident.
Really? That's kind of medical.
And I tried to be as realistic as I could, Doc. I did some research to figure out whether or not what happened with the guy was realistic or not. So maybe we can talk about that when we get you on the show.
Yeah,
find out whether or not.
Great. What do you think of the new studio? For your first time up here,
I get a little warm, a little roasty, to be honest.
Yeah, well,
it's nice.
Yeah, but
very nice. I like it.
Yeah.
And you're still in the holiday spirit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can never be too early for Christmas is only 10 months away.
We were just talking about No Shave November, so
Exactly.
it's right around the corner.
It's coming up before you know it.
That's right.
Well, let's go ahead and sit down at the table. We'll bring the good doctor on. We'll get Dr. David Lowry. Come on in, sir. Our friend Dr. Lowry. How are you?
Thanks
Good to
for
see you,
having me.
sir.
Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Doc runs Platte County Pediatrics in Platte City. And we wanted to get the good doctor on here because it's been such a nasty flu season. We did talk adult flu with Dr. Ann Riggs several weeks back, but now we're going to talk about the kids and what's been hitting the kids. Doc, the flu, right? Is that the story of the year?
That is the story of the last month or so.
So you're seeing a lot of cases of the flu, right?
Yep. And I've been about as busy as I've been in a very long time with flu. Flu.
You're keeping the Tamiflu business going, right? You're keeping the pharmacies.
Yeah, we're keeping the Tamiflu industry in business and the flu test industry in business because we're going through the flu test quite a bit. So,
Any theories on why it's so bad this year?
I have no theory of why it's so bad. I know that the outpatient or the inpatient hospitalizations and the clinic visits outpatient are almost near record highs compared to like 09 and 14 and 15. So it is. I have no idea why it's been so bad.
Huh. Now, what's the typical time for recovery if a kid comes in? You diagnose the kid with the flu. What kind of time are you looking at?
Usually around 3 to 5 days. They're fever-free and back in school, but it's just so prevalent right now. It's just hitting everybody, and once somebody gets over it, the next kid gets sick, and it's bad.
What are the symptoms that you're seeing?
Mainly just fatigue, sore throat, headaches, body aches, chills, just general. They don't feel worth a darn. And you can tell it almost in their eyes when you walk in the door because they just are wiped out.
And do you go ahead and test them for that flu, or do you just say, "Hey, it looks
we
like
do
you have
when we had the test, but those things are, like I said, a hot commodity, and a lot of times we'll check them for strep throat, which is really going around too. And if they don't have strep throat, you kind of go on the presumption it's almost going to be influenza. Wow. So it's like I said, I haven't seen anything. I've been doing this over 20 years, and I haven't seen anything like this in a long time. It's just a lot of sick little kids.
Widespread, and you're the only board-certified pediatrician in Platte City, right? So
I am.
Everybody with a kid needs to be coming to you, right?
That
sounds like they are.
That would be the goal. That would be the goal. But yes, you are correct.
Brad, how old is your daughter?
My daughter is just turned 10 last week, and I was telling you before we started that we've been lucky enough in my house to not have gotten it yet, knock on wood. I always try. I'm a fingernail biter, so I do my darndest to try to keep my hands out of my mouth as much as I can. I know that probably isn't going to be the only way that I could catch it, but I'm guessing that's not a bad idea.
No. Good hand washing. Just staying away from those sick individuals, but and get your flu shot when you want to. So.
Yeah, that's true. I did tell them too that I hadn't had my flu shot yet, which is not because I don't believe in it. I just hadn't gotten it yet. So
it's never too late. People think we're in the middle of the flu season and I'm too late. It's never too late. We don't even know if the peak has come. I mean, It's so prevalent right now that the Platte County Health Department does a very good job reporting numbers and tracking. And the latest I saw, the peak may not even be here. So those that are thinking, should I still get it? By all means, it's the best you can do. It's the best you can do.
Can't hurt me.
Is it ever too early to get the shot done? Because I had mine in August. I'll be honest with you.
I know. A lot of people are pushing it out earlier and earlier, but my answer to that would be no. Getting it's better than not getting it. So,
Well, I was covered. And you didn't have it. I did have the flu earlier this year.
Oh, you did? Okay.
First week of January, yeah.
See, that's why I don't get
a lot of people, I think, believe influenza A back in January, and now we're seeing a lot of the B. But it's regardless of the strain, it's really rampant right now.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple nasty nights where I just couldn't get warm. I was chilled to the bone, Doc.
You need to come on.
I was just coming. I need the fireside chat.
Nobody wanted to do it with you, though.
You got that fireplace. You should just come over and warm up.
I did pull the space heater over by the bed those nights, you know.
Yep. It's.
But yeah, it was nasty. Had a cough for about a month too. Now, Doc, I know you don't get into dental work, but boom! Look who's the sponsor tonight, Dr. Lowry.
My neighbors.
You do
yes.
have neighbors
My
up there.
neighbors, Stacy and Trent Blaha.
You want to read the commercial, or you want me to?
Yeah, you better do it.
Okay.
You better do it.
Hey, Dr. Stacy and Dr. Trent Blaha at Platte Valley Dental Care will treat you like family because they are family. It's a mother-son dental team educating their patients on the importance of dental health and how it affects the rest of your body. The office accepts many insurance plans and offers an in-house discount plan to make dental procedures affordable to all. Their professional team will be helpful and compassionate through your dental procedures. Check out their online scheduling at pvdentalcare.com or call them at 816-858-2027. Dr. Stacy and Dr. Trent, loyal supporters of Landmark Live. We appreciate their support, and they are neighbors of yours, right?
They are neighbors, and they take care of the little Lowrys and myself. So
awesome!
I can personally endorse the Blaha.
That's great. That's awesome. So you've got quite the. Who else is your neighbor up there in that strip? Tell everybody where you are and how they can contact.
I'm right by Platte Valley Dental, catty corner to CVS, kind of right at that intersection. It's hard to describe.
Is it Platte Falls Road?
Platte Falls Road,
Yeah.
Platte Falls Road
Okay.
in Kentucky. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm glad I could help tell where you are.
Thank you.
Sometimes I don't know where I
right
am.
this
Doc.
time of year, I don't even know where I'm at. Right.
You said you've never been this busy, or it's been a long time since
Yep.
you've been this busy,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Awesome. So I say awesome. It's good for business, but not necessarily good for the public, right? When they're all you're so close to CVS, you could just run across the street and get some more pharmaceutical supplies.
Yes, CVS and Walgreens down the road, and Price Chopper across the street. So
Yeah.
close.
Now, when you're not doctoring, what do you like to do, Doc?
Sports. I'm a big sports person.
We're going to get into that because 1 year, guys, I got to tell you, did you win 1 or 2 years?
No, I just won 1 year.
He got really lucky, I think.
Yeah.
No, I'm
yeah.
just kidding. Doc won our bracket battle several years ago and really won it going away. And ever since then, I thought he was going to win again, but just been a one-time winner apparently.
Well, as I said earlier, my motivation is just to beat one guy on that line so that I can get a free
The one guy who usually
get
sucks.
a free paper for the next year. So that's my motivation, just to beat that one guy.
Now,
I
do you
did good
get-
last year.
I did. I finally had a good year last year. I don't know how that happened, but it probably won't happen 2 years in a row. So. Do you ever get time to read the paper when you're so busy?
I
Doc?
do.
Okay.
I do.
Now, that's good because later tonight we're going to play the headline game. Have you seen this one yet, Brad?
You have to refresh my memory.
Yeah. Okay, what we do, we guess the headline. What I've done, and we're not going to do it right now, but I'm just going to tell you how the game works, Doc.
Okay.
I've blocked out part of a headline,
All right.
and I'm going to ask the questions, and you and Brad are going to have to figure out what the rest of that headline says.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I'll give you multiple choice. So it
Okay.
won't be-
Oh, that's
All right.
good.
Okay. Good.
So you mentioned strep and the flu. What else is going around?
Just a lot of viral stuff. A virus called RSV in the under 2 crowd causes a lot of wheezing and coughing and respiratory distress in the little ones. The school age kids is mainly just colds, flu, strep throat. That seems to be the big population right now. Is the school age group.
And when you've got something viral like that, what do you do for it? Do you just wait it out?
Well, with the flu, if you get on it within 48 hours, Tamiflu will work. Otherwise, it's just rest and a lot of hydration and ibuprofen for fevers and chills. So, not anything you can do for viral illnesses, and antibiotics don't work. So,
Yeah. Back in the old days, they used to give antibiotics for everything like that, right?
yeah. Back in the old days is why we have antibiotic resistance. So we try to avoid the old days. So
Right.
anyway,
In your time, how many years you been doing this?
21.
Okay. In those 21 years, what has changed in the practice?
I think parents and patients are a lot more knowledgeable of healthcare, what's out there, they're more knowledgeable about medicine just because of the internet. So I think the consumers are more knowledgeable. That would be the biggest thing. So, you know, you kind of have to work more with people, and just it's not that whole mentality of, oh, he's the doctor and do what he says. I mean, they're well-informed consumers, and you just kind of have to work together to get to the good point. So
yeah. Besides we don't give antibiotics for everything like they used to back in the day. Any other major changes as far as how you would prescribe something these days?
I'm a little more hands-off and just let things kind of play out. You know, kids are notorious for, I tell people, just sit on your hands and let things play out when they need to play out, and then let the body do what it needs to do. Kids are tough cookies, and they can fight through a lot of things without intervening sometimes.
Yeah. Now, do you suggest that guys like Brad and I, when we're feeling a little sick, should we go to WebMD and read up on stuff? Because sometimes I've gone to WebMD and I've convinced myself I'm dying. Have you ever done that, Brad?
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my God, I'm going to be gone.
Yeah. No, it's a headache, Ivan. Just a headache.
No,
A brain tumor.
the internet can seed a lot of
It puts a lot of ideas in your head.
a lot of bad things that usually are more the zebras than the common things. So I'd avoid Googling headache.
Yeah. About 15 years ago, every time I had an ache or a pain, I would honestly go to the internet and like, wow, I got to quit doing that.
Paranoid. Hypochondriac.
That's part of my job too, is diffusing the internet.
You kind of have to be a psychologist at times, I would imagine, don't you? A little bit? Like,
yes,
it's talk people down from the ledge.
Yes, exactly. No, you probably don't have this. It's maybe just a cold. So
Yeah.
I was going to say that you might not want to talk too much about this, but I mean, obviously, you see a lot of different personalities, not just with kids, but also with parents, I'm sure, and you probably do run into some maybe a little rougher situations than usual.
The art of pediatrics.
Right.
It's not just the kids.
Right.
So,
Right.
That's good time. Now, what's the age range of your typical patients? I mean,
newborns to, usually I cut them off at 18 when they're leaving high school.
cool.
So, I could go from one room with a newborn to the next room with an adolescent who has got different issues.
yeah,
So,
keeps it interesting, right?
yep, yes.
I can imagine.
Now, Brad, what have you noticed? Your family's been healthy, though, right? And anybody in your neighborhood been fighting the flu? Any of your friends? Anybody? You must hang out with a lot of healthy people.
I've got a friend who's got 3 kids at home, and I know at least one of them has been sick. You hear about it all the time when my daughter plays sports, and of course she goes to school, and so you always hear about who's gone or who's missing or who's not at the game or whatever. And it's always, it's always somebody. Like when you think about when she's playing basketball, I mean, everybody's touching the stinking ball the whole game, and
The water bottles.
the water bottle, right? Exactly. And it's just, like I said, I'm knocking on wood and amazed that she hasn't gotten sick yet. But like you said, it still can happen.
Yeah,
But they got their flu shots at least, so yeah.
Why is it so much easier to get sick when you've been hanging around kids, Doc?
Easier to get sick?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't get sick much anymore. I've been
well,
around
you
for a
don't.
long time, so I'm good. The kids are easier to get sick because a lot of the kids haven't seen or developed the immunity against a lot of the viral illnesses that are out there, especially the newborns in that age. So that's why they're, in daycare is a fact of life sometimes. So the combination of being new to the world and being around a lot of viral illnesses, and people are just so close together with the weather this time of year, it's a perfect recipe for illness.
Just kind of a petri dish of disease.
Oh yeah,
right
it's
there.
a petri dish right now. So.
Did you like that? I threw in the
That was
word
good. I
petri.
like
You
it. If you could throw it in again before the end of the show.
You should write a book.
Word of
about
the show, petri.
Would you write a book
I
about
write
the
a
show?
book called. How about if I just write a book called The Petri Dish?
Yeah.
You should write a book called Landmark Live.
I could do that.
Yeah, I bet that would be a
It'll
big,
start with this
that
show.
would be a big ass seller for you, Brad.
I'm sure it would. Just sell it for 99
It's all
cents so people buy it.
incubated in the petri dish right here.
Right.
Landmark Live.
I could do that. Maybe I should start writing right now.
Take notes. Take notes.
Now, you guys are both craft beer enthusiasts. I'm typically not. When I have a beer, it's usually a Bud Light. But you guys were talking craft beer earlier, so hit it up. Brad, what is your favorite craft beer? Do you have a particular favorite?
I really don't, because I think one of the things about craft beer is that you may go to a brewery and you may find a beer that you really like by ABC Brewery, but just because you like that beer doesn't necessarily mean you like all their beers. Would you agree? I mean, it's
yeah.
yeah. So, anything you want to add to that?
No, I just recently may have visited the Boulevard Brewery, and prime example, you got a range of different tastes available to you.
Right.
None of my parents are watching, are they? Anyway, but no, I totally agree, and I cringe at the thought of you just drinking Bud Light.
I apologize. I don't have a taste for anything else. I've tried some of the.
You need to get out.
I probably need to grow up and become a big boy, but my tastes are so weak. I'm just a Bud Light drinker. You know, if I get into a dark beer, I can't do dark beer. Do you like dark beers?
At one time, but not anymore. I'm more of the amber.
Yeah, you're like an amber wave of grain.
I am an amber wave of grain, and but I can't domestic stuff anymore. Like Brad said, if you get out into the pockets of these little microbreweries, both here in town and nationally, it's hard to drink.
Sorry to come back to Bud Light.
Whatever you're doing, yeah,
It is.
Huh.
Yeah, it is. And I'm like you too. That I do like porters and stouts, the darker, thicker, heavier beers. But I find that the more of those I drink, the more I like the lighter beers because I appreciate a lighter.
Yeah.
Not as light as Bud Light, but they're easier on your stomach. They're easier on your head. The whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
So
what's the alcohol content in those things that you're like? Is it like a 6%, 5%? Are you still at 3.2 when you? What is it?
I would say the lowest they probably go is about 4, maybe on a lighter beer, roughly. And then they go all the way up to.
Are you an IBU person? So you keep track of the IBUs?
Well, I know what an IBU is, and I do pay attention to it. I'm not a big hop head, so I'm not a big IPA guy. But I got a friend that is, and so there's a beer down in Oklahoma called F5, named after the tornado, of course. But it's a IPA, and it's used to be 110 IBUs. I think they got it down to about 90 or 95 now. That basically is the International Bitter Unit, which basically tells you how bitter, not necessarily how hoppy, but how bitter the beer is.
And the higher the number is, it gets your attention. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a little puckering.
Yeah,
So.
it is.
Can't do that. You guys do the Boulevard Wheat?
Yeah,
That's
Boulevard
probably the
Wheat,
first
Boulevard Pale Ale.
Yeah,
See?
those are the first two I ever
Boulevard.
had.
They're
good.
It's a great facility up there too. They've got a little hall they built up there, and
That's nice.
Yeah, when I do a craft beer, it's usually Boulevard Wheat because somebody told me that is the closest thing to a Bud Light that I would find. So that's why
I
what
wouldn't
would you
say that.
suggest?
No, I would no. We could be here all night talking about
Well,
this.
we got time, Brad. It's the internet.
I would suggest some kind of a craft Pilsner. Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Pilsner is more
right.
of a Bud Lighty.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So-
But they taste better made by a microbrewer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I went to Boulevard, what do you suggest if I want to drink something?
They've got a
Pilsner,
Boulevard
the
of
AC
Pilsner.
Pilsner.
Yeah.
That's where
Yeah.
you need to start.
Yeah.
Right.
Low
Start there.
IBUs. Low IBUs.
Very low IBU,
Yeah.
low ABV.
Yeah.
I'm a lightweight. See,
You're-
it doesn't take much.
But do you drink wine?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. In fact, the last time I was at a winery, I ran into my friend Dr. David Lowry. And,
Who's that?
Well, this guy, we
This
were
guy.
both. It was the night of some fight, and there was like a pay-per-view fight. I don't even know if that's why you were there, but I was looking for a place. I don't really drink wine, Doc. I'm going to tell the story that I was just there for the fight.
I was there to appease my other half.
Okay, well, I was in there watching the fight, and I saw Doc from across the room. So, we
So you
kinda-
grab somebody else's wine, pretend like you were there for the wine, and went, "Hey, Doc."
That's the challenge at a winery is to see if they have beer on tap.
Yeah, they don't, but some of them do have Bud Light, Doc. If you ever want to Bud Light.
Well, and my friends down the road at Jaller Creek, they do have.
They've got some
They
craft.
have a
beer there.
beverage, non-wine, on the end of the bar.
Oh yeah,
There you
you
go.
know that's a good place to go. We should
Yeah.
we should push Jaller Creek a little bit.
Yes.
Have you ever been out there to Jaller Creek Winery?
No, but
Nice setting in the summertime, especially. They got a nice.
Beautiful.
They'll bring
Beautiful.
bands in. Nice. Yeah, we have to go out there. We'll
Jason
do a
and
show
Colleen
sometime.
do a good job, and they're outdoor. They have live music on weekends. So, Jaller Creek Winery.
Boom. Future side of Landmark Live.
I'll make sure the camera pulls his groin for that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll be healed by then.
You don't know how often he pulls his groin, Doc. I mean, we've been doing this show since September, and he's probably missed like 8 weeks with a pulled groin. What do you?
What's he?
He's working that groin very hard, and I don't see. I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know why he works.
That
it
should
so
be the
hard.
bigger question. Why is
Well,
that groin keep bothering?
I
you?
don't. Let's not use the word bigger when we're talking about his groin.
Okay.
But I don't know But he has missed several weeks with a pulled groin. Do you have? What's a guy do for a pulled groin? Stop pulling it, probably.
I stopped doing what causes it and rest, I guess. But
yes. Somebody suggested massage. I'm not sure. That's probably not going to work.
I just rest.
Hey, and speaking of that, Doc, what do you think of chiropractors? Or would you rather not talk about that tonight? I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot. That's just something that came to mind.
I think that modality has its place with certain illnesses.
Right.
Kids, I'm not as a big advocate, but it has its place. Yes.
Gotcha.
I'm on the fence.
Okay. Now, what about these essential oils and stuff? Because here's the deal, Brad. Like, if I get a sinus problem or something, I'll reach in because my daughter used to sell essential oils, and there's like a breathe thing, and I would put it. It worked. And then what else was the one I would use? Like a basil. I put basil around, my sinus area. Boom. Works great. You a believer in that or not?
If it works, I don't have a problem with it. I just don't want you wasting your money on a lot of stuff that may not have any foundation to it. So watch what you breathe.
Okay, well, I only use it when I need it, Doc. I'm not really addicted to it yet.
Yeah.
And
you don't. Okay.
Have you ever used essential oils?
No, I was gonna. No, I haven't. No.
Have you used
CBD oil? No.
Recreational oils?
Recreational oils, right. Should we start talking about the legalization of weed now?
We can.
Oh, we talked about that on the show before?
With the prosecutor.
We're going to talk about that. My groin hurts. Can I step away? Because I definitely don't want to get into the weed topic. Or I'm going to need a new
Anytime somebody wants out of the show, there's something to do with the groin.
Right.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
But, hey, guys, if you've got a little one and they need some dental care, or if you need some dental care, anybody in your family needs dental care, I'm going to tell you where to go. You need to call 816-858-2027 to schedule your family's appointment with Dr. Stacy and Dr. Trent Blaha at Platte Valley Dental Care. They'll treat you like family because they are family. They educate their patients on the importance of dental health and how it affects the rest of your body, offering the highest possible care to children and adults. Check out their online scheduling at pvdentalcare.com. We appreciate Dr. Stacy. She's been a big supporter of the show. We need to get her on sometime. So we shall do that in a future episode. Now, Doc, we've got a big basketball tournament coming up. We need to get into this a little bit more because Brad and I are looking for some tips.
Yeah.
Okay, you might want to keep looking.
You're the man. You're the only past winner that's in the room.
I think Dr. Riggs pulled it off too, didn't she?
She did, and
so maybe you need medical school, and then that's the end for winning the landmark basketball contest.
She played college ball. Did you play any college ball?
Oh, no, I did not. But yes, I believe she played at BYU.
Yeah, she did. Now, what do you think, Doc? I was thinking, that tournament starts on a Thursday. I'm thinking like maybe the night before we just do like a round ball round table. We get like you and maybe Dr. Riggs in there. We just talk about brackets and everybody pound out their picks. How about that?
I like that. I like that live from two past winners. So
maybe get Platte County Pediatrics to sponsor that episode.
That's even better.
I'll
talk to the owner.
Talk to the man if you know somebody there.
Well, I'll talk to the owner. We'll see. I'll take it up with him tomorrow. So I like the idea.
I do too. The night before the tournament, let's just do that.
So who do you like?
It's not going to be Kansas. I'm sticking by my prediction. Kansas will be out in the first weekend, you guys. I'm sticking by that one.
That happens a lot. It's not that much of a tough...
Usually they'll make it to, at least to the 16. But I don't think they're getting out. I don't think. What do you think? Have you been following
Well, I was going to say, here's what I think. This is what I'm going to do. The last time that I had any kind of success, I think I had 2 of the Final 4, which is pretty good for me.
Yeah.
And I just let my daughter at the time, who was 4, I just let her pick them. But I tell her, what's their mascot? I would tell her, and she'll, I like that over this. Okay, Bearcats, Wildcats, Jayhawks. So that's how I think I'm going to do it. So I can't tell you who my favorite is till I get her to
we got to see the bracket, right?
Yeah.
And there's, as Doc and I were talking earlier, there's a lot of parity in college ball this year. You just don't know who's.
I like location. When some of the site locations, some of the Sweet 16 locations, when some of those teams are playing close to home, I like
that.
That's what I look at a little bit.
Yeah.
But, this year I think it's going to be a crapshoot.
And here's a little tip. She'll tell you how I've been so good at losing. As you get into the later rounds, I usually start picking by the coach. If you get once you get into Sweet 16, I start looking at the coach. Has this coach had success, or and that's kind of how I go.
And a couple that I like this year, they've got coaches that have been there before, and I think that's a big part of it too, is how you prep for the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8.
Right.
So,
and Bill Self has had trouble in the Elite 8, so and I'm not going to have him going that far this year. Guys, if you want to know what my bracket's going to be like, you already know. Kansas is not going very far. I don't care who they're playing. They're not going in my bracket anywhere. Okay? Sorry to break that to you, Dr. Riggs, and whoever else out there might be a Kansas fan. But and even that's my team, and I'm just telling you, they're not good this year. I don't know how they've won as many games as they have, Doc.
it's just Jekyll Hyde. You don't know who's going to show up. They've been beat at home several times this year, so which is unheard of at
Very unusual.
KU basketball. So, yeah, I don't like them past the Sweet 16.
Yeah. Now, where did you grow up, Doc?
I grew up in Salina, Kansas.
Oh, Salina. Okay.
So a little bit west of here.
And but then you went to Washburn.
I went to Washburn for undergrad and came to Kansas City and did my pediatric training at Children's Mercy.
Awesome. So how old were you when you said, "Hey, I think I want to be a doc"?
Well, I was 18, but when I went off to college, that wasn't feasible because I got sidetracked doing things we were talking about earlier. So then,
like craft beer, perhaps.
Well, I didn't specifically say not essential oils. And so I took about a 5-year hiatus and then went back to medical school.
Good for you.
Yes.
Brad, how old were you when you decided you wanted to become a craft beer aficionado?
About 40.
That's a relatively new thing for you, then.
Well, I think it's a relatively new thing for a lot of people. We were talking, before the show that it's a thing that continues to go up. And you haven't really seen a craft brewery shut down. Really, I mean, they're getting bought. But for the most part, it's an industry that continues to hasn't really jumped. Well, some of the names have jumped the shark of some of the beers and some of the breweries, but for the most part, it's still an ongoing industry, which is great. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was thinking of something I wanted to ask you about. You and I think we've talked about this on Twitter a couple years ago. What is up with these Kansas City weather people? They always miss the forecast, and then even after it's obvious we're not going to get anything, they still try to come on there and scare you to think we're going to get.
It happened just a week to 10 days ago. They were making a big to-do. As you know, if you watch, look, everybody's got a phone now where they can look at the weather, and it changes like by the hour anyway. Right. So if it's changing on your phone by the hour, it's changing in front of these guys that are watching the National Weather Service too. But if they start talking about this big snowstorm that's coming in a couple of days, and then it starts to dissipate, they won't stop talking about it. And it just happened a couple weeks ago where we were going to get some snow. It turned into it was barely even a dusting. I'm going to have a hard time not swearing during this, by the way. I'm so angry right now. And they do it. And I'm sorry. Look, I know that the show is close to KNBC and Chris Ketz, so I don't want to say too many bad things.
Brian Busby can take it. Go ahead.
Well, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's like, if it's really dying off, let's stop going to traffic and going to Johnny Rollins, who's working overtime in the chopper. It's a half inch of snow. It's not necessary.
Exactly. You know what they do is they force everybody into feeling like, I need to stay home. And boom, that hurts business for everyone. All the retail centers and the bars and the restaurants, and everybody's like, where's all the customers? Oh, it's because Gary Lezak said we're going to have a hell of a snowstorm. Well, there's nothing falling.
I started writing a book called... Now, the word is not actually wussification. I use a different word, but I won't say it. The wussification of America. The very first chapter is about weather people. And God bless them. I'm glad you're there. I wouldn't want to do the job any more than I want to be an umpire or a referee.
Right.
I mean, but really, when the storm's dying down, just tell us the storm's dying down. Go away.
But I also hear that there's a significant band of weather change from Platte City to St. Joe. A good friend has told me that, and I don't see it. School's closed for a dusting.
Don't even give me.
Your kids are sitting home getting a suntan because there's a dusting of snow. So I'm told there's a significant weather change 20 miles south of St. Joe. So anyway.
Well, Kansas City is the same thing. They've done. I mean, obviously they've done it multiple times. And honestly, I do understand this. It's because people are so happy. Okay, is it the schools are obviously scared to send their kids, Look, when you guys went to school, when I went to
Here
school,
we go. We're gonna go when we went to school.
when we went to school, we stood outside and waited for the bus. I grew up in Iowa, 20 below zero.
They never canceled school for
They
cold
never
weather.
canceled school.
When we were kids.
No.
Never got a cold day.
No.
I don't recall ever getting a
I
cold day.
believe that the legal system is involved with school cancellations and the concern. Obviously, you don't want kids out in the cold, but
Sure.
Let's talk about
back
this.
when
though.
we went to school. Or back
Why do these weather people do that? You think? Here's my theory. They're trying to justify the budgets to their bosses, because everybody, we gotta have the dual Doppler, and I need a couple staff members, and I gotta have all this fancy ass equipment and stuff. So they're trying to, that's part of it in my mind. They're trying to justify their presence and the presence of all their toys and equipment. And
Could be.
I think that actually plays a role.
It very well could be. If I do recall correctly, actually several years ago, 10 to 15 years ago, we had a weather lady who's no longer in Kansas City.
Katie Horner. We won't mention her name, but her initials are Katie Horner.
You know what I'm talking about. Get your football helmets on because the hail's coming.
Yep.
Be careful. Don't
Yes.
go outside. If you do, put your helmet on or something, right?
She made the alarmists look
my
like
God.
they were tame, but yeah.
The doc doesn't look like he knew about that. You
I
heard
didn't.
that one?
I've not heard of.
True
You
story.
don't know Katie Horner?
whoever she-
That's
You're not
probably
missing.
a fake name,
Probably.
Yeah, that's her.
stage name. But
Yeah, it's true. I think you're right. Plus, let's be honest. Look, you get into TV for one reason, right?
they want attention,
Right.
Yeah, I want some airtime. That's some airtime.
Right.
That obviously plays a role in it.
Hi,
too.
Chris Getz.
That plays a role in it too. That is obviously.
But that's, and really, if you don't mind me segueing,
Go
because
ahead.
I think this is a good segue, something that I mentioned to you. Talk about attention. How about, because we're all sports fans here, sports coaches, football coaches, baseball managers, and even jumping into what I mentioned earlier with referees and umpires. These guys aren't any smarter than you or me. They want you to think that they're smarter. You probably heard, I'll bet it's Ned Yost who said this before, like at a press conference after the game, where somebody will say, well, why didn't you do this? And they'll say, well, it's always a lot easier from your recliner. No, it's not. It's just as easy from my recliner as it is from you in the dugout. For you in the dugout, you're just overthinking it because you think you're so much smarter than everybody else, but you're not. So maybe you should sit in the recliner, and I should go manage the team.
Or
You
at
know
least
what I'm saying, though?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like Andy Reid with
Reid.
his clock management.
His clock management.
The guy sitting at home watching the game on his couch should just have an earpiece. Andy should have an earpiece
Right.
tied to you. You're sitting
Yes.
at home watching. You can say, "Okay, Andy, time out right here." No, he screws it up every time.
all the time. I mean, and it's just, and you would think that when you're making that much money, and you've been in the sport this long, you've got this many people working for you, that you could get somebody on board. Maybe the guy that tells you when it's a good time to review the replay should also be the guy that tells you time out, time out, time out.
Right.
Because Andy clearly doesn't know when it's time to call it time out.
But you've seen where they've appealed some of those replays that aren't even close. So
it's
why would
true.
you want to? Why would
You
you
don't
want to
want
ask
that
that
guy
guy?
doing it.
No. He needs
Maybe I need to be
you
doing
in
both.
your recliner.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Not the replay guy.
I mean, and which talking about replays, I'm sure I'm not the only one at this table that thought Chris Collinsworth was a little bit off his rocker during
Yeah.
the Super Bowl.
Yeah. What was he?
Hear it, but yeah.
Oh,
It was bad.
my God.
It was bad. He would not let it go.
No. It was clear who he was rooting for. And which brings me to another part of this, is that, they're supposed to be unbiased, right? Okay? But again, they're human. They're like you. They're like me.
Yeah.
They got their favorites. And a lot of times the announcer's favorite happens to be Tom Brady. And they're always, in their minds, rooting for the Patriots. And that's exactly what Chris Collinsworth was doing. You can't justify it. I mean, you can't deny it. That's fine, you're human. How about I just say it? How about I just say, I was kind of rooting for Tom Brady,
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, but they're not going to say that.
Right.
But
Yeah,
clearly,
he just couldn't get it in his head.
no.
One more time, guys. Dr. Stacy and Dr. Trent Blaha at Platte Valley Dental Care will treat you like family because they are family. It's a mother-son dental team educating their patients on the importance of dental health and how it affects the rest of your body. The office accepts many insurance plans and offers an in-house discount plan to make dental procedures affordable to all. Their professional team will be helpful and compassionate through your dental procedures. Check out their online scheduling at pvdentalcare.com or call them up at 816-858-2027. They're located right next to the good Dr. Lowry up there.
Yeah, it's still hard getting used to Trent Blaha being a partner of his mother's because I used to take care of Trent Blaha.
Was he one of your patients?
Yeah, and it makes me feel older by the day. So, Stacy and Trent are wonderful dentists, and their staff are. It's a great facility.
Yeah. So when we get her on the show, maybe you can sponsor that episode.
Yeah.
Well, you're probably going to
Yeah,
sponsor the
that's-
basketball episode.
Yeah. No.
It's got to check with the boss first.
Yeah, that's right. Might have a pulled groin that day.
Well, that is. It's. Have you had ever in your industry? Have you ever noticed just like to see appear to be an influx of pulled groins?
No, I
You
get
never
about
saw
one
it?
of those
You ever
every
see that
10
medical
years.
school?
One of those 10 years. No.
So it's just a Campbell thing, apparently.
He's got he's active.
He's
That's
very
why.
active.
That's why.
Very active, and he's home at his high school tonight, where he used to play his tuba. Yeah, before he went to MU and played his tuba down there, he played his tuba at
See
the
those cheeks. I can just see it.
North Kansas City Fieldhouse. That's what he's probably playing his tuba at the farewell ceremony. Don't you imagine?
I can see
hope
that.
he's probably on Facebook Live right now doing that. But guys, we've got a game
Yes.
to play.
All right.
Okay? And lots of prizes to give away. Brad, I tell you what, we've really stepped it up in the prizes game lately.
I saw what you were giving away tonight. That's fantastic.
You
It's
know,
great.
we got Travis Tritt. How about Doc? Are you a Travis Tritt fan?
I am not a Travis Tritt
Okay.
fan, but I will be.
You'll be happy to play the game.
I'll be
though.
happy. Happy to promote.
You'll be happy to give it to someone
country
else.
Western music. I darn well. Yes.
We also got tanning, and this is a spray tan, so that's always healthy, right?
Yes. Any chemical you could put onto your skin to create an artificial look has got to be good.
It's safe, right?
Darn right.
Said you.
Darn
Would
right.
you recommend it?
Oh
Would-
yeah, just then a trip to the dermatologist is the next one in line.
What about the UV beds?
Sure, next. Yeah. While you're at the dermatologist, address skin cancer. So,
Oh, man, we
yeah, okay.
Okay, those are all good. All right. So I haven't been watching the check-ins. Has anybody been watching the check-ins to see who are?
I've been busy doing the show. I can't.
I tell you what, Vic Perrin. Vic Perrin is one of the check-ins.
Vic.
He's the tan man. We're gonna play for Vic. And we'll.
I'm kidding, Vic.
he's just kidding. He
I
said,
saw on the Facebook thing. It looked to me like the way you worded it is Vic's going to actually be the one spraying it on you.
he does
Is
do
that
that.
true? He's gonna
Vic,
be the one-
Vic is. I call him the tan doctor.
Yeah.
Because he will.
Wonder how long he went to medical school.
Well, not very long, but he will treat you like a patient. So you go in there and get down to where he can access all of your area that needs tanned. He'll spray it. And
Makes me laugh.
I'll tell you what, Jelana Lanning, we're going to play for Jelana Lanning right now because I don't know what she was laughing at, but she said, ha ha ha. So we got her. We're going to play for Jelana right now.
All right.
It's the headline
Probably
game.
you drinking Bud Light. She was
Is that
laughing.
problem?
That's comedy in itself. All right.
All right, let's see. Now, here's how we do this. We're a little short on technical staff tonight, but camera girl, if you can come in, and this is how we do
Want me
it.
to hold it?
Camera person, would you please come in? We're going to play this game right here. I'm going to read part of the headline. Part of the headline is blocked out. Then the boys here are going to.
Feral View. Nothing that you ever talk about.
They keep me busy.
I
It's,
guess.
Feral View is like the flu for me.
It's never
It's
going
like
to go
you're-
away, is it? It's just keeps you busy.
Okay.
All right. Feral View.
Feral View chief facing A, charges from the fashion police, B, 6 mirrors in his office, C, allegations at state level, or D, future as RoboCop actor.
I'll let Brad handle.
Brad?
I was honestly forgot that this was multiple choice and was hoping I'd get to make up my own answer.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with what I think is the right answer this time. I think it's C.
You're correct. You're correct. Jelana Lanning has just won Travis Tritt tickets. I hope Jelana likes country
You're welcome.
music. Jelana, you're going to Travis Tritt or someone you know.
Or take Brad.
You're a big country
Free
fan.
selfies.
We forgot to talk about it. We have to bring that up.
Free selfies.
Travis Tritt is at Ameristar on Friday, April 27. Jelana, you can pick those up in the Landmark office at 252 Main Street. I tell you what, Jelana, it'll be a good time. Friday, April 27. You've got plenty of time to come get those. We shall save them for you. Whew, I haven't been I knew there was a reason I was supposed to be watching my phone. We're one staff member short. Oh, Colleen from boom, 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 boom. Joller Creek.
Colleen.
We're gonna play for Colleen. What's her? Gerke. Thank you. And then I'm gonna write down a couple other names while I.
Now, how would you know if that was Cole? As a radio guy, I would not know for sure if it's Colleen or Colleen.
Yeah.
Colleen.
Well,
It's Colleen.
I'm a newspaper guy, and I knew what it was.
He said it's
You need to
Colleen.
go out to
You
Jala
said it
Creek
wrong.
and
Oh, it's Colleen.
it's Colleen.
I apologize. I apologize, Colleen. I'm sorry, Colleen.
Choline is something that you get cleaned.
And she knows I'm a customer. It does.
Colleen
And I'm
goes
due
back
for
to
one of those.
medicine.
Right.
Colleen, I'm a customer.
Colonoscopy. Yes.
Yeah.
You don't deal with colonoscopies much there at your place, do you?
That's crappy business.
All right, Colleen. I know that you're a music fan because you always have music out there at the winery. So here we go. We're gonna play for Colleen 2 tickets to Under the Street
Oh,
Lamp.
another topic that you don't touch often. R3.
R3 board candidates. This is from about a year ago.
All right.
All right.
All right.
R3 board candidates. A. Offer views on back taxes. B. R3 board candidates to hold street fight at dawn. C. R3 board candidates offer views on issues. Or D. R3 board candidates expected someone to drop out.
This is the doctors. I'm gonna let him do this one.
Oh, this year would have been the dropout, but I would have said probably C, offer views on issues.
Boom! You guys are 2 for 2. Colleen is going to the Under the Street Lamp.
Not Colin, but Colleen. Colleen.
I'm glad you were here to correct me on that.
I was just honestly making conversation. I didn't really know.
Good job, Colleen.
Obviously, I didn't either. All right, 3 more to go. Rachel Comer. I don't know if I've lost all my confidence. Rochelle Comer. How do you know all these people there?
I just they go to the dental.
Oh,
They go to
okay.
Platte Valley
All
Dental.
right.
I met him at Platte Valley Dental.
All right,
There you go.
Rochelle Comer. You are up next. This is fun. You guys are good at this game too. All right.
Everything's C.
This is a pretty. You might have noticed the
true.
noticed the pattern.
There's
so far,
a
haven't you?
trend developing.
Yes.
All right, this is a pretty
Wow.
recent headline. Pretty recent headline, okay? Former J-Rays owner A chokes on a nacho. B dies a state prisoner. C loved children's movies. Or D loses his last appeal.
I'm in a conference with the good doctor here, but I think I know this answer, and I'm not as up on my Platte County news as I should be, but I think it's B. Is that correct? You think?
Yes, I believe that he passed away in the last month or so in a state
Boom.
facility.
Got it right.
You guys got it.
Yep.
3 for 3. Woo, right?
What are we playing for?
That's a good question. Rochelle, I think you've won a tan.
Vic will spray you personally.
Rochelle, it does not have to be a personal. This actually is you go in the spray tan. The Vic does not have to be in there with you on this one. So this is a Pura Premier Sunless Spray Tan. Go in the booth. I've actually been in that booth. It works magic, you know. It
You
does.
with your essential oils.
Yeah, I do. You don't want to oil up before when they spray tans because then it won't stick. Brad. Do I have to coach you through this?
Yes.
All right, Rochelle, you have won a Pura Premier Sunless Spray Tan from Total Tan. That's down on North Ambassador Drive, just north of Berry Road. Vic Parent, great guy.
Thank
friend
you,
of the
Vic.
show. Thanks, Vic. Vic always lines us up with great
Vic is
prizes.
great.
Fun guy, good guy, and he will take care of you, Rochelle. All right, we need 2 more players, don't we?
This is probably something that I was missing from my fake radio days. Was I never really had anybody doing any. I didn't have any giveaways. It's nice when you got an actual business where you have sponsors and things.
Yeah, when we first started, we didn't even think about selling sponsors. Then we thought, people are actually watching this. We should try to sell sponsorship.
That.
Boom! It was like the light came on,
Great
Brad.
idea.
It's like you should have done that for your fake radio show.
I should have.
All right, Leanna Lightfoot. Leanna,
All right.
Leanna, let us know. You're either going to win 2 weeks in Vic's UV bed by yourself, or you're going to win a shower floss, water pick You can floss while in the shower, Leanna.
That adapts to the shower head?
Yeah, that looks pretty cool, actually. You don't have one of these.
No, I obviously don't.
Well,
I think shower time's meant for showering. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
you can multitask, Doc.
Well,
I mean, come on.
all
You're a
right.
doctor. You know how to do this.
Time is of the essence. Why not?
Okay.
All right.
All right, Leanna. Playing for you, Leanna. Leanna was on the show last week, and she's a lot of fun. Tonight, she's a potential winner. LC's Hamburgers, you
Boy,
guys.
you are jazzed about that, aren't you?
Ah.
You like LCs.
Woo. Love me some LC's.
That's right. Man.
Love it. We got to get them
Mark.
sponsorship.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
What'd you say? What?
never mind. I may have said the answer.
All right. LC's Hamburgers. A has burgers, fries, and cherry pies. That's a lyric for you, Brad. Do you remember that song?
No.
That was a country song, so obviously you don't
No,
know.
no. I was thinking it'd be a good
Burgers and fries
book
and
title.
cherry pies in a world we used to know. Come on, Brad. Don't make me sing
Don
it.
McLean.
No, it was Tom T. Hall, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
Let's Google it later.
know.
But anyway, that's A. B is will sear your patty. LC's Hamburgers. C serves freshly pounded meat. Or D, LC's Hamburgers aims for a March opening.
Opening of what?
I can't tell you.
You're a lucky woman. Did anybody ever tell you that?
I know the answer.
What is it?
I think it's D.
I believe
Yeah.
so.
D, Leanna. Leanna, let us know. Leanna, if you're still out there, just punch in the words. Do you want a tan or do you want the shower floss, girl? Let us know. Because we've got both multiple of those. So we can line you up with your choice. Let's get one more contestant.
There's more.
Woo, look who just signed on.
Uh-oh.
Dagmar Wood.
Oh, yeah.
Dagmar, we're playing for Dagmar.
Dagmar.
County Commissioner watching the show. We haven't even touched on the politics tonight.
All right.
All right, Dagmar. Dagmar, we are playing. You either get 2 weeks in the UV bed down at Vic's place, or you get a shower floss water pick. Hang that sucker on your shower wall, and then you just like tap it into the. Yeah, you go to town.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dagmar, you can get ready much faster in the mornings before you come to your commission meetings.
Shave
because I
5
know-
minutes off your prep.
Absolutely,
Yep, yep.
it will. All right, here we go. Dagmar is pumped for this. Now, this is an older headline. This is from like a year ago, guys. So you think back.
Ooh.
Local Radio Shack. Okay. I forgot what I'm supposed. Okay, local Radio Shack store A has sale on transistor radios. B, local Radio Shack store serves as a homeless shelter. C, local Radio Shack store closes its doors. Or D, local Radio Shack store tells Amazon to kiss off.
I'm torn between B and C. The homeless shelter.
Yeah, could be.
But, yeah.
A lot of space in there.
Yeah. But
I was just down there. Did they close their doors? I would go with.
maybe it was. Maybe it was.
I don't know.
I'm really confused here.
Well, one of you is correct.
I'm gonna go with close their doors.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that too after reading the first.
Hey,
I want to make sure she won.
That's right. We got prizes for Dagmar. Dagmar, give us your choice. Let us know which one. You can have the tan or you can have the water pick, girl. All right, 5 for 5, you guys. Very impressive.
Vic, not to worry. These are all freshly photocopied. I have 10 I'm taking home for myself.
I have some extras that I keep downstairs.
I'll bet.
So yeah, it's just whenever you guys, Doc, you need a spray tan? I'll get you lined up.
No.
Yeah. All right.
This groin's flaring up.
You're a bragger. That's what you are. Oh, guys, now listen. Show's about to wrap up. What do we need to talk about before we sign? Did we miss anything in the health world, Doc, that we need to hit on?
Never too late to get your flu shots.
How do they get a hold of you? Somebody's out there and says, hey, I need a pediatrician.
Right by Platte Valley Dental.
Give us a phone number. You got a phone number?
816-858-5253.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on, Doc. I appreciate it. And Brad, if someone wants you to write them a book or needs a craft beer
Or have a
recommendation.
beer with you.
Right,
It's
exactly.
not Bud Light.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I actually wrote a book about beer. It was actually a fictitious book. So it's a book about a couple of guys that opened up a craft brewery. A little bit of a psychological thriller. So I try to mix my
Now how'd you get so many Twitter followers, man? That just really took off for you, didn't it?
Yeah, I think the author thing probably helped. There's a lot of authors on Twitter and independent authors and stuff. So I think they follow each other a lot.
Very cool.
It's hard to read and write at the same time. I do more writing than reading, but
We're still good at the headline game.
well, like I said, I know a little bit. I keep up with my Platte County news by following Platte County Landmark on both Twitter and Facebook.
Appreciate that. Yeah, and I'll even set you up with a subscription just for helping us out.
Oh, you don't even...
Next time.
Or we could just beat him in the contest, which 90% of Platte County does anyway. So
Right.
free
Listen to
papers,
this guy.
free papers, just giving away free papers.
Oh, listen to this guy. We're gonna have to go out now. He's really made me mad. It's gonna be the night before the bracket contest. You're coming on this show,
Oh,
man.
God,
the
you're
night
gonna
before. So
publicly humiliate me.
keep that Wednesday night
right.
free, okay?
All right.
I want you to seriously. That's like the what date would that be? It'll be
16th-ish, maybe.
okay, yeah, whatever that Wednesday is.
Okay.
Wednesday night, keep it free. We're gonna do a bracket battle show.
All right.
You're gonna be here, Brad. You can be here if you want.
We'll see. I'll check my schedule.
Check your schedule.
Yeah.
You're a busy man. I know you
Yeah.
might be writing a fake book or doing a fake radio
Right,
show.
I'm drinking a fake beer.
Later tonight, as soon as the show's over, we're heading down to the pool hall. Brad will be giving away free selfies. If you'd like a selfie with Brad, come on by. He usually charges for those. Free tonight,
Yes.
especially if you're female, is what Brad
Yes.
said. That's his deal.
Yes.
Okay, so free selfies. How long are we doing that? Just for like one Bud Light or?
5 minutes. Yeah, about 5 minutes. Hurry up.
Better start lining
I gotta
up.
go home.
Better start getting there.
Doc, you coming down for a Bud Light?
I have a prior commitment.
Sure you do.
Yes,
Sure you
I
do.
promise I do.
Okay.
My kids would be unhappy if I went to the pool hall.
Yeah. How many kids do you have?
I have 3.
Oh my goodness.
All texting me right now.
Oh,
so,
okay. Well, we got
anyway.
You're a busy man. Well, hey, Brad, anything else? We good?
No, I think great. I covered all the smart aleck stuff I wanted to cover. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and
Thank
good
you.
to meet the doctor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice to have you
Thank
on,
you.
Doc.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, next Thursday night, it's a real estate roundtable right here, guys. We're going to talk about the hot real estate market in Platte County. We'll have Jennifer Bruner, Brandon Edlin, a couple other realtors. Watch my Facebook page, watch our Twitter, watch us on social media. You'll find out who the rest of the realtor team will be, but we'll have about 4 realtors on here talking about the Platte County real estate market, and maybe Candler will be back. We don't know. Depends on how his groin is feeling. Yeah. So hopefully, if you have any.
Best of luck.
Ice
Best
it.
of luck.
Ice
Best
it.
of luck with your groin, Chris. Enjoy it. We will see everybody next week, Thursday night, 6 o'clock. Thank you. Good night.